Hi, welcome back to Create Your Inspire podcast. My name is Kristin Omdahl, and we're here live in Southwest Florida watching the sunrise over the buildings and the trees in the east. And this is the beautiful Gulf of Mexico behind me. We've got some beautiful waves this morning that are crashing and just sounding so amazing. If you're joining me live, please say hello. If you end up watching the recorded version of the podcast, which I know many people do, most people do, please also feel welcome to say hello. Hi, Christine. Good morning. Hi, Grace. Good morning. Hi, Edna and Barbara and Joe, Lisa and Judy. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Anybody watch the Super Bowl last night? Hi, Diane and Barbara. Barbara watched it, Grace didn't. We watched the Super Bowl last night. We watched the whole game and the commercials and the halftime show. It was a good game. Hi, Lucy. Yep, we were rooting for the team that won also. So always fun when the one you're rooting for won. It wasn't, none of our favorite teams were playing, but yeah, the halftime show was spectacular. Amazing that it was a 50-year-old woman and a 43-year-old woman headlining the halftime show. That was pretty amazing. Yeah, the game was good too. Yes, I love Shakira's dancing too. I love belly dancing and I love Latin dancing. So between the two of those, it was very, very entertaining to watch all the dancing. I loved it. Hard to believe that that's achievable for age 43 and 50. Barbara Patrick Mahomes remains of her grandson Mason. Oh, that's exciting. Grace saw the halftime show too. Yeah, and some of the commercials were really good too. The Jason Momoa commercial was funny where he rips off his muscles when he goes home. That was pretty funny. I'm trying to remember what other ones. We like some. You know, funny that you say that, Grace says that those women put younger women to shame. I was having a conversation this morning about the fact that in the 1980s, the Golden Girls were supposed to be in their 50s. That I was like, oh my gosh, I'll be 50 in 3 years. And I look at Jennifer Lopez and I go, I'd like to be, I'm not going to look like her, but I'd like to be in shape or, as fit or close to as fit as she is by 50. And the last thing I would want to do is look like the Golden Girls in 3 years. It's amazing what our perception of 50, how much our perception of 50 has changed from the 1980s to 2020. That's pretty remarkable because, I think of myself as the age of their kids on that show. And I don't know, that really surprised me this morning. Anyway. Anybody do any crafting this weekend? I did. I worked on some swatches in Be So Baby Yarn and Be So Fine Yarn because I have so many colors available in Be So Fine Yarn and in Be So Baby Yarn. Judy says 50 is the new 40 now. That's fine with me because the clock is ticking and I'll be 50 in 3 years and I want to feel young and vibrant and full of energy at 50 just like I was at 40. So thank you, Grace. Grace says the new colors of Be So Baby are gorgeous. They are. And this weekend I spent quite a few hours making swatches in all 28 colors. For a couple of reasons. I thought I could make some really fun photos of them in social media posts and stuff like that. And I thought it'd be really fun for combining different colors to show you what colors would look good together. And I also thought that it was a lighter way for me to bring all of the colors to the beach because I'm on weight restriction for how much I can carry while I'm still recovering from surgery. So this way I could bring all 28 colors with me to the beach in the morning and it weighs next to nothing. So if you want to show you all the pinks and purples together and then show you all the greens together, but aren't they adorable? All right, so let me separate these out. Oh, and I had weird question to ask you all. You know, sometimes my memory doesn't serve me correctly. Sometimes I forget things or think things and they aren't true. So I wanted to ask you all, does it sound familiar? Layette set, a girly baby layette set in the pink and purple colorway, like the 5 colors. There's a hat and baby booties with a flower on the top, and then a bright colorful baby blanket in motifs with a floral edging. Does that sound familiar? Did I publish that? Because I can't find it published anywhere, but I feel like I did. So the good news is, if it doesn't sound familiar to you, I have something to share later this week. But does that sound familiar for a baby layette set? Did I release a pattern of a blanket and a hat and booties? I'll wait and see if anyone thinks that sounds familiar. Grace does, okay, well, Grace does my tech editing, so if it doesn't look familiar to her, then I probably didn't release it yet. Well, the good news is that I have a gorgeous baby layette set in these 5 colors to share with you soon then. And I think I'm going to call it the Jessica. So I expect to see that maybe later this week or maybe next week. And I did it in Violet and Orchid and Diva and Princess and Peach. It was in these 5 colors. So very, very cute, and I'll be releasing that later this week then. All right. So what I wanted to show you this morning is some of the new colors, or all of the colors, but in some color combinations, so you can see how well some of them work together, and maybe even some of the similarities and contrasts between similar colors. So here are the neutrals. We've got black, platinum, silver lavender, and what I wanted to point out with these two is that yes, they're both gray, but look at how they are different shades of gray. So this one is platinum, which is more of a medium gray, and this one I'm calling silver lavender, this one here, which is a much lighter gray. Okay, so we've got black, platinum, and silver lavender, and then we've got white and ecru, buttercup, and chocolate. Try to keep those in the sun. This is Biso baby yarn. Okay, so they're neutrals. Let's see if I can put them on my arm. Maybe that'll help. And we've got black, chocolate, platinum, silver, buttercup, ecru, and white. And that would be our range of the neutrals. Yeah, they do look really pretty together. And keep in mind, we have some 5 color patterns even, right? Like remember the Zen striped scarf? You could do something like that in these. We could do, there's black, platinum, silver, ecru, and snowflake. Very nice neutral palette. If you wanted to do some sort of a striped scarf or a striped shawl or a striped baby blanket or a striped adult blanket or a lapgan, those would be really great. So next we'll go into, we'll do some let's do some of the reds. So in the reds, yeah, blanket from Rainbow Connection, absolutely. You could do that in not rainbow colors, but any other combination. We've got burgundy and eggplant and cherry. So those are our 3 red ranges. Actually, we could pull Diva here too. Diva would be, those are our bright reds and pinks. So we've got burgundy, eggplant, cherry, and Diva. Okay. And then we'll go into some purples here. We've got violet, orchid, princess, and peach. That's violet, orchid, princess, and peach. And then in the blues, we'll go from navy and cobalt, periwinkle, and prince. Navy, cobalt, periwinkle, and prince. Actually, we could pull the Here's more blue. Well, we'll do it with the blue greens. Well, you don't have to choose any particular colors together, Christine. I'm just showing all the colors. Let's see, we'll do these. We'll do the turquoise blue greens together. We've got mint and turquoise, aquamarine, splash, and peacock teal. Those are really beautiful together too. So we've got mint, turquoise, aquamarine, splash, and peacock teal. And notice how similar yet different those three light blue greens are. It's the mint, turquoise, aquamarine, splash, and peacock teal. That's fine, Christine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Absolutely. And then in the greens, we've got forest green, olive green, clover, and chartreuse. And so all of these I'm showing you in complementary colors. Remember when we talked about the color wheel before? We talked about complementary colors, which would be colors that are close together on the color wheel. So we've got forest green, olive green, clover, and chartreuse. Notice how the forest green and olive green are similar, but yet different when you can see them next to each other. So next I wanted to show you some of the contrasting colors. So chartreuse, if this is a new color to you, you may look at this and go, oh my gosh, I have no idea what to pair with that. Well, so just to share some things with you, chartreuse actually is very complementary with reds, pink reds, and turquoise and teals. So let me show you what I mean with that. So let's put up, there's the chartreuse, there it is with peacock teal and diva. How amazing does that look, right? Imagine that in a bright and colorful cowl or a scarf. Isn't that great? And then it also looks great with neutrals. So you could pick the teal or the raspberry, and instead of pairing the chartreuse and one bright color with another bright color, you could pair it with a neutral. So look at that. Now we've got peacock teal, chartreuse, and silver lavender. How amazing does that look together? So, and we could pop out the teal with the diva, and it's still beautiful with that pop of neutral. You could also go in a different direction with the neutral and do a brown. So you could, that would be a warm neutral versus a cool neutral. And you can see that that still looks cute with the pop of bright color as well. And if anybody else would like to pick a color, I can show you some colors that will go nicely with it. I'll show you those light greens again, because I know a lot of people are going to probably want to pick one of these or pick all of them. So again, that's mint, turquoise, and aquamarine. All right, would anybody like to see me pick some other colors to put together with some other colors? So here is eggplant, and I showed it originally with burgundy and red, but eggplant would also be wonderful to do with purples. So if you do eggplant with the violet and the orchid, and even periwinkle, and then from periwinkle you could even go into navy. The Minkus Scarf is done in a number 1 fingering weight yarn, and this is a number 3 DK weight yarn. Yes, this is Be So Baby yarn. So you would probably want to adjust the number of stitches that you do if you want it to be the same size cowl, or by using thicker yarn and a thicker hook, you would end up making a bigger cowl. So yes, you could do it, but you would need to either choose whether or not you wanted it to turn out bigger, or you would want to adjust the number of stitches to make it the same size. So however you decided to modify it, it's absolutely doable. If you don't modify it at all and just do the exact number of stitches but with larger hook and larger yarn, you will just make a bigger cowl. But that would still be beautiful because big cowls are beautiful as well. Hi, Carol. Thanks, Cindy. Yeah, these are mirrored sunglasses. I love mirrored sunglasses, and I love light colored sunglasses on blondes. That's probably my favorite type of glasses is a light gold mirror and gold or blonde frames. Okay, I think someone said pull colors for Aquamarine. Okay, so Aquamarine is the more blue of the pastels. So we've got, you could go in this direction and do like, so we've got mint, turquoise, aquamarine, and splash. I love how close and similar, close and different these colors are, especially if you go in with splash and aquamarine. Also looks really beautiful with peacock teal. So even like a two-tone with aquamarine and peacock teal. Now somebody recommended or suggested this, so if you have another color you'd like to see me mix other colors with, you can do that as well. I'll be happy to. So here is the aquamarine with a pink, or let's try orchid, would be really beautiful there. You know what else? Peach would be beautiful with it. Or you could even go in with a navy. Navy would be beautiful with aquamarine. Oh, and what about going neutral? How about ecru? Look at that. That's beautiful too. So we've got peacock teal, aquamarine, and ecru. And even as a two color, that would be beautiful. Yes, so here, that's what I was doing. Barbara, you and I are thinking along the same lines. So let's see, what else would we pull for a sea glass kind of a look? There we go. How about periwinkle, aquamarine, and ecru for like a beach glass? That's beautiful. Yes, I love those too. And you could even maybe do peach in there. Yeah, peach would be pretty too, but I really like the ecru. And then if you wanted, you could do that with white as well. Even if you wanted four colors. Orchid would be pretty in this mix too. So there we've got orchid, periwinkle, aquamarine, ecru, and snowflake. That's really pretty. Okay, I think someone said grays and pinks. So let's start out with all of them. So we've got diva, orchid, there's princess. Okay, so we've got diva, orchid, princess, platinum, and silver lavender. Whoops. And let's pull. And that was diva, orchid, platinum, and silver lavender. And we could even go in with some eggplant. Let's try that. Let's do, here we go. I like this. So we've got eggplant, diva, and platinum. Beautiful. Okay, what else? What else would anybody like to see? I can go over all the colors one more time too to finish it up. But if anybody has a request for a color that you'd like to see me mix and match with other colors, go ahead and name it. See what I can do. Isn't it fun though? I love putting colors together. So it was worth every single moment of making these swatches and weaving in all those loose ends because I knew we were going to have so much fun mixing and matching the colors together. White, black, gray, and pink. Okay, so we'll start with black and white and pink, and then we can do that with baby pink as well as diva. It's really pretty, doing all four, and then maybe even just mixing one of the pinks. Yes, the beach is always a good backdrop for everything, isn't it? And even doing the pinks with white or doing the pinks with black. That would be pretty too, picking one of the neutrals. or both. All right, anybody else have any color requests? I know it's going to sound silly, but my arm's getting tired from holding it up. You can tell I haven't been in the gym in a while. Any other requests for color combos? I'll do a blog post showing photos of some of these combinations too. Wait and see if there's any requests. Yeah, it's like a new palette of paints. That's right, Grace. This is wonderful. It is so fun to mix and match all these together. So I'll look and see, I'll wait and see if there's any more requests, and if not, then I'll just put them back in, colored formation, and let's see, and that goes with this one. I'll unshare the colors one more time in their color families. All right, I got to look down for a second to do this. Okay, let's see, we'll do that with there we go. Okay, so we'll start with the dark greens again, and we had forest green, olive green. Am I close enough? Forest green, olive green, clover, and chartreuse. And then for the blues, we have navy and cobalt, splash, and prince. And in the turquoises, we have peacock teal, aquamarine, turquoise, and mint. How adorable are these? Just three, what are they? 2 round motifs. And then in the purples, we have eggplant and violet, orchid, and periwinkle. Some of these colors would actually work in more than one color series, depending on your opinion of what color it's in, because like, for example, periwinkle not only goes with the purples, but it goes with the blues as well. Look at how complementary prince and periwinkle are together. All right, and then in the reds, we've got burgundy, cherry, diva, princess, and peach. And then for the neutrals, we have black, platinum, silver, white, ecru, buttercup, and chocolate. Black, platinum, silver lavender, snowflake, ecru, buttercup, and chocolate. And this is Biso baby yarn, 100% milk fiber, DK weight, number 3 DK weight, 142 yards per 50 gram ball, and it's on sale for $3.99 a ball. Barbara, oh, your daughter likes orchid? Yeah, that is a really beautiful color. And it goes, remember when we did the Shangri-La tapestry bag? We did orchid with navy. Look at how beautiful those are together. I love that combination. I use that bag all the time. That is my go-to project bag for bringing when I take my projects on the road with me. And I love those 2 colors together. Clover and buttercup. Sure. Boy, that looks like springtime, doesn't it? A third of a regular skein of what, Barbara? 142 yards times 3 would be 420. You mean if maybe you're asking if it's a third of a Be So Fine or Be So Sporty? Not quite, somewhere in between, because Be So Fine is 650 yards per skein. I don't know which skein you're talking about, Barbara. Be So Baby yarn is 142 yards of number 3 DK weight yarn in a 50-gram ball. Be So Fine yarn is a number 1 fingering weight yarn that is 650 yards per ball. Half of that would be 325, half of that would be roughly 150, 160, 165. So it's not exactly, but, and I'm not sure what you mean by that. A third of Be So Fine would be 215 yards, but it would also be a much thinner yarn. And so this reminds me of tulips. You're welcome, Barbara. If I knew why you were asking, maybe I could help you a little bit more. I'm not sure I understand. Here is Snowflake with buttercup and clover. Wanted to show this combination with a couple other colors because it reminds me so much of springtime, like tulips. Here's peach with buttercup and clover. You know what else is going to be really cute? This is Diva. How great is Diva with buttercup and clover? I love that. Very springy. Yeah, Barbara, what project? Maybe I can help you figure that out. I'm not sure. Because if you're looking to do a Be So Fine project, there might even be more modification because you might need to figure out different hook or needle size and then yardage. But yeah, if you're really just doing where you know the yardage of what you want to make, like for example, a Be So Fine pattern, if you're going to just do straight 1-for-1, if the pattern calls for 650 yards, and these balls are 142 yards each, you're going to, on your calculator, which is on all of our phones or however you like to use your calculator, you type in 650 divided by 142, and whatever number comes up, it's more than likely not going to be an even number. Whatever number comes up, you need to round up to the very next whole number to find out how many balls it takes. Does that make sense? Does everybody know how to do that? If not, I could definitely write that down in a blog post as well. How much? Lily, for a shawl in DK weight yarn, I would say that you're going to need somewhere in the 700 to 800 yard range. Sorry, 800, like 750 to 1,000, depending on how big the shawl is, what kind of edging you're doing. You're going to be looking in the 750 to 1,000 yard range. So you would take whatever number or however you're deciding on that and divide that by 142, the yards of a ball of Be So Baby. And whatever number comes up with the decimals, you'll need to round up because, you know, if it's a whole number plus a partial, the only way to get that is to round up to the next whole number. Does that make sense? I can't use my calculator right now because it's on my phone, but if somebody wants to take 1,000, divide by 142 and tell me what the actual number is, I could explain what that means. Does anybody want to do the math for me real quick? I'm good at math in my head, but not that good at math in my head. Maybe I'll memorize it after this. But yeah, you want to take the whole yardage that you need, divide by the number of yards in the ball of yarn, in the type of yarn, per ball in the type of yarn you want to use, and then whatever that number comes up, it'll be more than likely not be an even number. You round up to the next whole number. 7.04. Shoot, well that's so close. All right, well I said the range was 750 to 1,000, so here would be a time when maybe you'd want to round down, right? So if it's 7.04 balls of yarn, you might want to round down since that's the high end of our range. So if you wanted to, and these are just rough numbers. Obviously, if you're doing color work, it's different. If you're going to add a heavy edging or fringe, it could be different. But if you're doing something really loose and light with lots of holes, it could be on the lower end of that. And if you're doing something more dense or textured, it's going to be on the higher end of that. So roughly 750 to 1,000 yards for a DK weight shawl. And if 1,000 divided by 142, the number of yards per ball. Oh, does anybody want to do 750 divided by 142? Because then I could give you the range of number of balls in a single color shawl. That might be a better way to do this even though, we'll wait and see if anyone wants to do that math real quick too. And more than likely this number, 5.28. So thank you, Judy. So that one you'd want to round up to 6. So if you're doing a one color shawl that's not too dense, you would want to use between 6 and 7 balls of Beso baby yarn, approximately. Now, like I said, if you're going to do any amount of color work, you're going to bump that up. If you're going to do a heavier edging or an elaborate edging or add any texture, you're going to want to bump that up. But so roughly 6 to 7 balls for a normal, medium-sized, nothing too fancy shawl. Christina, the Minkus says 450 yards of Beso toasting. Well, again, I don't have the calculator myself with me, but you're going to put in 450 divided by 142, and whatever that number is, you'll want to round up to the next whole number. So 450 divided by 142. I'm surprised that so many people are enjoying this information this morning. You know, as a designer, this is inherent to me. So 3.17, Judy says, thank you. So you want to round up to 4 balls of yarn. Yep, Christine, if you wanted to do the Minka cowl in Beso baby yarn, you would need 4 balls of Beso baby yarn. Thanks, everybody. But, you know, like I said, as a veteran designer who has been designing patterns for 15 years, information like this sometimes is just so second nature to me that I forget that it really is great information. So since so many of you have enjoyed this morning, I am going to put it in a blog post because some people will definitely click with this, learning orally this way. Some people are more visual learners. I know I can be a visual learner at times. And I'll put it in a blog post to spell it out even further for the rest of you. Because this is great information to know. Very often when you choose patterns, you don't use the same exact yarn that is listed. And yeah, so if this is valuable information, I will keep sharing it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the feedback. I'm glad that I could help some people this morning. And I just realized I forgot to bring a Create, Share, Inspire notebook with me this morning. But if you follow me on Facebook or on Instagram, I did share a quote there this morning, if you would like to read that, with a really pretty butterfly photo. Man, we didn't even talk about the view today, but how special is this? And the waves, my goodness. I love the big rollers crashing on the shore. Sounds so nice. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise, the beach, the sound of these amazing waves, chatting with me and everyone else here. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all for the podcast. We'll be back at the beach on Thursday, and I'll be sharing more videos every day this week. Have a great day, everybody. See you next time.